Global warming, an ongoing process driven by the accumulation of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere, has become increasingly evident since the late 19th century, when scientific observations began to reveal patterns of temperature rise and changes in weather patterns. Initially observed as localized phenomena, such as increased ice melt from glaciers and more frequent extreme weather events, global warming started to manifest globally around the mid-20th century. Key developments include the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, signed in 1992, which aimed at stabilizing greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere to prevent dangerous climate change impacts by the end of the following century. Since then, temperature records have shown a steady upward trend, with an average global surface temperature increase of about 0.8 degrees C, 1.4 degrees F, since the late 19th century. This rise has been most pronounced in the Arctic, where temperatures have increased at twice the rate of the rest of the world, and in regions like the Antarctic Peninsula, which has experienced a 3 times higher warming rate than the global average. These changes are not only concerning from an environmental standpoint, but also pose significant economic challenges. The impacts of climate change on societies, economies, and industries have been multifaceted. In coastal areas, rising sea levels threaten to inundate low-lying islands and cities within decades, leading to hundreds of millions of people potentially becoming climate refugees by 2100. Economically, the World Bank projects global crop yields could decrease by up to 5% by mid-century due to changes in precipitation patterns and temperature. Additionally, shifts in industry are inevitable as sectors like agriculture must adapt to changing climatic conditions. For instance, drought-resistant crops have already seen increased adoption. Despite these impacts, efforts at mitigating climate change through international agreements such as the Paris Agreement have shown some success in reducing carbon emissions, with commitments made by many nations. However, significant challenges remain, particularly concerning non-compliance and insufficient funding to support adaptation strategies globally. Looking ahead, projections suggest that without accelerated action, global temperatures could exceed 1.5 degrees C above pre-industrial levels by mid-century, leading to even more severe consequences like widespread food insecurity and increased health risks associated with heat waves and other extreme weather events. In terms of future trends, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, projects substantial reductions in greenhouse gas emissions must be achieved globally to avoid catastrophic outcomes. Optimizing these efforts through advancements in renewable energy technologies and efficient carbon capture systems could accelerate progress towards sustainable climate. However, continued international cooperation remains essential to achieving these goals effectively before irreversible harm is done to our planet.